adaptation strategies at farmers' disposal. There is what we call farm-level adaptations such as crop rotation, crop diversification. We also have social adaptation like social networks. In India, we have now self-help groups for women and community projects. We also have what we call technological adaptation like micro-irrigation and water harvesting. And we have basically institutional and policy adaptations like water allocation and regulation of local institutions. In all these types of adaptation, women's propensity in circumstances of climate uncertainty is remarkable. We have been discussing this since the first day. Okay? And this legitimizes all the more for their inclusion in the debate or in the discussions on climate change. In our community watershed projects, for instance, okay, women pioneered the biodiesel enterprise using Pongamia. Pongamia is a tree that can fix nitrogen and that it can, sequester carbon, and this is something very important. Okay? In West and Southern Africa, women promoted microdosing, wherein we make use only of small cup, the bottle cover of Coca-Cola or any soft drinks. The women have been one of those who were very, very successful in adapting the technology, and it has helped a lot in their farming activity. They've been one of those instead of, other groups. And as I said earlier, women operated our knowledge information hubs, which again I think is something worth considering. Okay. African women farmers based on our ICRISAT experience in West Africa, particularly for instance in Niamey, shows the resilience to improve their livelihood activity, particularly farming. Now, let me explain a little bit further the way in which we manage our information. Okay? It is a fact that a well-packaged information that can be readily accessed is the cheapest input for increasing agricultural output. Okay? So if you're able to package your information, your technology, and it is accessed by farmers at the shortest possible time, I think this is something that, can increase their productivity. And as I said, this emphasizes women's contribution. Okay. Now, this is the way in which we have packaged our virtual academy for the semi-arid tropics, or VASAT for short. Where we give critical attention to demands and needs with respect to content, cost effectiveness, and innovative means like color-coded maps for a critical mass. If you are quite familiar with the Indian context, a lot of farmers are not very much educated. So if you really would like for them to adopt the technology, for instance, on drought preparedness, you should be able to educate them in a very simple way such that they're able to understand. So we have come up with the color-coded maps such as this, and I will show you in a little while. Okay, what has happened? Okay. In these color-coded maps, for instance, with 350 millimeters rainfall, this would show you the situation, This would show you, for instance, that the red are very critical areas if you have 350 rainfall. Now, if farmers are able to understand the inadequacy of moisture or water in the soil, then they're able to program the cropping system or their cropping calendar such that they might not be growing crops that would require so much water. In fact, the yellow, the green, and the light green, it's not too apparent in here, would show you that these are the areas that can be, that is safe. In other words, you can grow any crops at any time of the year. Okay. In India, in our pilot sites, it is of our utmost concern for the communities to be prepared for the eventualities of drought. India is very much drought-prone area. So you really have to inform your farmers whether you would be having a drought a certain time of the year or the succeeding year. And so ICRISAT forged partnership with IIT, the Indian Institute of Technology, and the Indian Meteorology Department to come up with color-coded maps for better understanding to or grasp of the rainfall situation such that the farmers are able to plan properly their agricultural calendar. The idea of having a critical mass with capacity build-up, oh my God, what's happening here, has been a learning insight in pushing for significant change. We do have music as well. Initially, we started in 3 sites. Our pilot project started in 3 sites, and to date, we have graduated to about 12 villages. In fact, the Swaminathan group has awarded this group for being able to really do extension education on drought preparedness. I'm almost done, my dear friend. And so, rural with sufficient training, substantial training, rural women are able to collect and upload data such that they're able, it doesn't have very much variability with what is being collected by the Indian Meteorology Department. It's tongue twisting. Now, the implications for support given our experience are the following. There is a strong resemblance in some of the earlier presentations, but let me just emphasize a few. Women can unlock communication barriers. I think that is something, it's a very key lesson. We need to localize and customize content. We cannot make a generic content, but we have to do, that has also been mentioned a day back. We also need to develop local capacities through open learning paradigm and what we call ICT mediated. And I have to say that with little training, women and other interest groups can readily use this kind of technologies. And of course, we need to understand power relations for decision making. Okay. In our crop improvement program, okay, this is our crop improvement program. A point which has been raised earlier, we